Good morning, respected teachers, honorable opponents, and everyone present. Before I begin, let me ask you this. Is debate about proving others wrong, or is it about proving the truth right? Today, I choose the latter. My name is Sarah Carissa Humar Muhammad, and I believe that debate is not about defeating opponent, but it's about strengthening perspectives through critical thinking and evidence-based arguments. This house believes that schools should have the right to monitor students' private social media accounts to prevent cyberbullying. And I am proudly standing on the negative side. Today, I defend not just students, but also their rights to privacy and freedom of expressions. Because when school starts monitoring private social media, the line between protection and intrusion becomes dangerously blurred. Safety should empower students, not place them under constant watch. We all agree that cyberbullying is dangerous, but giving schools the right to monitor students' private social media is not protection, it is surveillance. Here is the reality supported by research. Based on statistic data on statista.com, yes, cyberbullying is widespread. Around 58% of students report experiencing cyberbullying at some point, and 33% faced it in just the last 30 days. However, prevalence does not justify violating privacy rights. In fact, studies on school surveillance tools shows a major problem. Sourcing from BrennanCenter.org, there is little empirical evidence that social media monitoring by schools is truly effective. And such surveillance can suppress students' freedom of expression and disproportionately target marginalized groups. Moreover, based on journal on ScienceDirect.com, most monitoring companies admit that they track students' behavior 24/7 outside school hours, meaning schools extend control into students' personal lives. This is not safety, this is overreach. And here's the irony. Research from cyberbullying.org shows many victims do not report bullying. Not because adults lack access to their accounts, but because they fear interventions might make things worse. They fear losing privacy, being judged, or escalating the conflict. If students know they are constantly monitored, surveillance will not build trust, it will build silence. So, instead of solving cyberbullying, surveillance risks creating three new problems. First, it erodes trust between students and schools. Education should be a safe space for growth, not a space where students feel watched and judged. Second, it violates the principle of privacy. Students are still individuals with personal lives, thoughts, and conversations that should not be constantly inspected by authorities. And third, it sets a dangerous precedent. If privacy can be taken away in the name of safety today, what freedoms might be taken away tomorrow? My opponents may argue that monitoring is necessary to detect hidden bullying. But ask yourself, if students know their private accounts are monitored, will they express themselves honestly, or will they simply move to platforms where schools cannot see them? Surveillance does not eliminate bullying. It merely pushes it further into secrecy, making it even harder to address. So, the core issue here is clear. Cyberbullying is a problem, but mass monitoring is not the solution. Education, digital literacy, and safe reporting systems are far more effective and ethical. Because once privacy is taken away in the name of safety, students may be protected from bullies, but they will never be protected from constant control. With that, I reaffirm my stance on the negative side. Thank you for kindly listening, and now let the exchange of ideas begin.